Okay, so here we go with the Fiador knot. So I'm using this glass jar to hold my noseband stationary. It's filled with water for a little weight. You can use whatever you want to hold that stationary. I just find it easier if you hold it stationary as you go. So again, now I've got my 4 loops tied already with the rings in between. As you can see, like I said, we've got the rope going away, down, and away on the loop. Same thing here, and then the same thing here, okay? Now, we've got our 7-foot piece length on the left, and the rest of the rope is 20-foot piece of rope, so we have approximately 12.5 to 13 feet on the right side. Now, that's a little excess if you tie your rope correctly, but like I said before, it's better to start with a long piece of rope than a short piece of rope and run out of rope by the time you come around to the end of your halter. So here we go. First thing you're going to do is you're just going to, on the right side, you're going to loop around like that. Okay? And you're going to do another loop on your left side. And you're going to bring the right side up across here like that. It's very difficult to hold this when you're working with stiff rope, but that's what you want to see at first. Okay? And you hold it all down. And with the right side, you're going to loop around again, and you're going to go under both of the 2 right loops. Pull it all the way through. Okay. So now you have looking like that. Okay. So you've got 1, 2, 3 loops so far, and right now you're done with the right hand side piece of the rope. Just going to keep up there. Okay, and when you're working with stiff rope like this, you got to kind of press and twist a little bit to get it to lie flat. Okay, but that's what you got so far. Okay, so now starting with the left hand side, you're going to loop around and go under this first loop. Okay, hold everything down with your right hand and then pull that all the way through. Okay, just pull that all the way through like that, and then just kind of re-straighten out what you've done. So now what we've got here is 1 loop on the left, 2 loops, 3 loops. This is your right hand piece of rope, this is your left hand piece of rope. So continuing with the left hand piece of rope, you're going to take the end, okay, and you're going to go under, 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 and then over the last one. Okay, so you could just feed these under, all 3 of those, like that. Okay, and then come over the last one. Pull that all the way through. Pull it all the way through till you get right about even with your loop sizes. Okay, so now what you've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. Okay, now continue with that piece of rope that you were working with, and just bend it all the way back around here, and you're going to go over here under the X, then you're going to split the little spaghetti twist there, call it my spaghetti cowboy twist, and then you're going to go under the last loop. Okay, hold this all stationary like that, and then pull it through. Okay, around there like that. So now what you've got is this. Okay, again, we're going to try to keep it flat. Alrighty, so you got 1 loop, 2 loops, 3 loops. Now you got your 4th loop is down here, and you've got another loop laying over the top of it. Okay, try to get a good piece of that. Okay, now you're going to continue. The last move you're going to make with that same piece of rope you were just working with, you're going to come underneath the middle and under the X. Put your right hand on everything else and just pull it right up through the middle. pull too tight, just get it up to where it's snug like that, okay? There we go. Get a good eyeball on that, kind of get everything even. And now for the final stage, this is where the magic happens. Remove that water bottle. You've got your loop here, and you've got your two end pieces. Okay, put the two end pieces together, grab this loop and that loop, the two outside loops, and bring them together at the same time as you pull everything down, little by little, snugging it all down, like that. And just carefully pull your noseband, pull your two loose ends, and then you might have to work it with your right hand a little bit, just kind of work it down, pull, tighten it up, especially when you're working with this stiff rope. It's a little difficult, but just keep working it. Pull your noseband up through. Squish it. Hold each one until you snug it up nice. And as you can see, you end up with this really cool Fiador knot. Okay, we're going to snug it up tighter, but we don't want it too snug right now because we've got adjustments to make. So put your two loose ones to the side. And one of the ways you check to make sure you did this right, first of all, you'll be able to see it's kind of a uniform blossom, flower blossom I call it, all the way around. But your two loose ones and your noseband will be coming right up through the center if you did it correctly. You see how there's a hole in the center still? Well, that hole is going to get tight as we snug this up. But before we do that, we want to adjust the size of the noseband and make sure that that's going to be correct. It needs to be, for an average size horse, I like to go about 12 inches from the top of the noseband to the Fiador knot. That's stretched out. Right now it looks like we're at about 14 inches. So we're going to shorten this up. And the way we do that is we're going to feed one side at a time back down through the knot. Okay, watch as I push this. You can see it popping out the bottom, right? I'm going to get it down a little shorter than 12 inches because I got to come down on this side a little bit too, and by the time we stretch it all back out, it's going to stretch a little bit. But as you can see, that came up through there, so now we're just going to go ahead and feed it back around into itself. And what's going to happen is when you get to the end, it's going to extend one of these loops longer. Okay, that's the right loop. You can see that right loop getting longer. Okay. Keep everything uniform so your knot doesn't come apart. Okay. Now, it's okay, the loop's long right now. We want it to end up being about 2 inches. Okay, but after we get our other side adjusted, I'll show you what we're going to do there. So I'm going to push this one down. We're going to find where that is. There it is right there. I'm just going to push that back up through there, and that's going to be this loop. Work it one side at a time here. Pull it down a little bit. Okay, and now tighten up that loop. Just a little bit. Tighten everything up. Okay, so now we've got these really long loops, but the noseband looks good. So we're going to do the same thing with the loops. We're going to find which loop comes out to each loose end by feeding it back through itself. So I'm going to take this one first, and I'm going to push it through and see where it comes out. It comes there. I'm going to follow it around. As soon as I find which one it is, which in this case it's this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shorten that loop up, pull it back through, shorten the loop up, pull it through, shorten, pull it through, shorten, pull it through, and we're going to get it all the way to where it's about 2 inches where I want it. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull that loose end all the way out and snug it up. There we go. Work it with your hand, tighten. You can pull this down a little bit like that, okay? And now we're going to do the same thing with the right side. And once we get that all even where we want it, we're just going to go ahead and snug everything up tight, get that knot good and tight, snug our noseband up. So, get everything tight, okay? So let's go ahead and find this one.